This is my special topic presentation for Sociology 354 by Britta Rysiewicz, entitled, Does Frequent Use of Technology Put Children and Teens at Risk for Cyberbullying and Mental Health Issues? The use of electronic devices, internet and computer-based communication and information sharing has increased dramatically during recent years. Technology appeals to young people who typically prefer to communicate through text messaging, emails, and social media platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. This explosion of internet use and technology offers benefits including immediate access to information, academic support, and ease of communicating. However, there are also inherent risks which include the possibility of abuse and victimization in the form of cyberbullying. Research in this area is relatively recent. Cyberbullying began to be studied in the late 1990s. With the rapid rise in the use of technology, it is important to continue this research as we have a great deal to learn about its effects on children and teens. Use of technology among youth is increasingly rapidly. In 2018, the Pew Research Center reported teen internet use doubled since 2015. Currently, 95% of teens use smartphones daily. Cyberbullying is a risk for users of technology. The term cyberbullying does not have a clear definition and can also be referred to as electronic or internet bullying. Generally, cyberbullying is defined as using an electronic source to intentionally harm a victim. It includes spreading false rumors about a victim, unwelcome sexual texts or photos, distributing private photos without consent, and sending threats. The 2017 Center for Disease Control survey indicates that approximately 14.9% of high school students were electronically bullied in a 12-month period. It is important to note that it can be difficult to have an accurate understanding of the impact of cyberbullying because it is a phenomenon that often goes unreported or underreported by young people. This topic must be further studied. Research in 2010 by Samir Hinju and Justin Patchen shows there is a clear connection between cyberbullying and depression and suicide. I believe it is important to look at the issue of cyberbullying because any type of victimization that can contribute to increased rates of serious mental health issues in children and teens is a great concern. Parents need to be aware of these risks as well as prevention strategies to. In my presentation, I argue that frequent use of technology puts children and teens at a greater risk for cyberbullying, which can lead to mental health issues such as symptoms of depression and suicide. This can be supported in the following ways. First, research demonstrates a connection between cyberbullying, victimization, and depression and suicidal ideation. Second, increasing use of technology is a large part of daily activity for children and teens, putting them at a greater risk. Third, due to the nature of technology, cyberbullying is difficult for the victim to escape. Lastly, cyberbullying is often unreported or underreported by victims, making it difficult for parents. Research demonstrates a connection between cyberbullying, victimization, and depression, suicidal thoughts. In 2010, researchers Hinju and Patchen studied cyberbullying in youth and its impact on mental health issues that led to suicide. The survey method used for this research had a 96% completion rate. Looking at rising suicide rates among 10 to 19-year-olds, this study of almost 2,000 middle schoolers revealed a range of cyberbullying from being ignored, blocked, disrespected, and harassed to stalking and threats. As many as 35% had been victims of cyberbullying. These respondents were also asked questions associated with suicidal thoughts to determine if they felt severe sadness, stopped daily activities, thought seriously about attempting suicide, made a suicide plan, and finally had the attempted suicide. Study results showed 20% of cyberbullying victims reported seriously thinking about attempting suicide, and 19% reported attempting suicide. It was determined that experience with cyberbullying, quote, contributes to depression, decreased self-worth, hopelessness, and suicidal thoughts and behavior. Overall, their study revealed, quote, bullying and cyberbullying victims were twice as likely to have reported that they attempted suicide as youth who were not victims. In another study conducted by Reno Bonanno and Shelley Heimel in 2013, 400 students in grades 8 to 10 were asked to report on questions related to cyberbullying and mental health issues. 16.8% of students reported being involved a few times or more a year in cyberbullying. Students were asked to answer questions related to depressive symptoms such as, how did you feel or behave during that week? And responses included, I felt very depressed and I felt that everything I did was an effort. Let's take a closer look at some of the key factors that contribute specifically to the issue of cyberbullying. Technology use has increased dramatically over the past decade and is a large part of daily activities for children and teens. According to a 2018 Pew Research Center survey, smartphones access is so common. Teens now report using the internet on a near constant basis. 45% of teens say they use the internet almost constantly, which is double from the 24% in the 2014-15 survey. Another 44% say they go online several times a day, meaning roughly 9 out of 10. Teens go online multiple times a day. Immediate access to technology means teens can connect to social media easily. The study reports 94% of teens go online to use a mobile device. 71% of teens say they use multiple social media sites, with Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat reported as the most popular. Research confirms that this increased use of technology puts children at an even greater risk for potentially becoming victims of cyberbullying. Next, due to the widespread nature of technology, cyberbullying is difficult for the victim to escape. According to the CDC 2017 report, digital devices offer an ability to immediately and continuously communicate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so it can be very difficult for children experiencing cyberbullying to find any relief. Research by M.L. Ybarra and Mitchell in 2004 surveyed 1,500 teens about internet use and cyberbullying. Results revealed that cyberbullies often felt using the internet to attack others is less dangerous to them than face-to-face attack. Responses confirmed that internet users often believe they can say anything without fear of consequences. In the study by Smith et al. In 2008, students in their focus group said cyberbullying through text messaging often happens due to its anonymous nature. This is supported in research by Faye Mishana et al. In 2010. The study explained that, by its nature, cyberbullying is repetitious. Materials such as emails, texts, or pictures can be widely distributed and viewed by anyone with electronic access, which can be very difficult for the victimized youth to eliminate. Lastly, Hinju and Patchen reported that major reasons cyberbullying has such devastating outcomes include the permanent nature of the messages as compared to verbal statements, the ease and freedom to make hurtful, embarrassing, and threatening statements, the difficulty of identifying the offender, and the fact that victimization continues beyond school or any location, due to the fact that teens are always connected to computers and cell phones. Lastly, cyberbullying is often unreported or greatly underreported by victims. Patricia Agustin et al. Found in a 2007 study, students who are victimized by electronic means are, quote, less likely to report and seek help than teens who are victimized by more traditional means. In 2010, research by Mishna et al. Of just over 2,000 students, more than 50% of cyber victims did not report, and many admitted that they may not tell parents because they feared they would take away their internet or cell phone privileges. Similarly, in 2008, research by Robert Solonge and Peter Smith, 360 students were surveyed, and 50% of victims reported not telling anyone. 35.7% told a friend. Only 8.9% told a parent or guardian. Participants in the study commented, quote, often no one knows about the cyberbullying except the victim. In yet another study of 533 students in 2008 by Peter Smith et al., victims of cyberbullying confirmed this trend to underreport since, quote, most victims turn to their friends for support or do not tell anyone of cyberbullying. Consequently, victims never receive the support they need. This may be explained because incidents occur without an audience. The issue of adult awareness is crucial when it comes to effective action. Parents must be aware of the types of cyberbullying and know how to support their children and prevent them from becoming a victim. This is briefly what we know from research. Now let's look at how cyberbullying is being discussed in the media. I first looked at a 2018 article in Science Daily which reported, quote, "Children and young people who are victims of cyberbullying are more than twice as likely to self-harm and enact suicidal behavior." They featured a study from Swansea University Medical School and looked at over 150,000 young people from 30 countries over a 21-year period. The research noted that cyberbullying youth were, quote, "less likely to report and seek help than those victimized by more traditional means." Research confirmed, quote, "the urgent need for effective prevention and intervention in bullying strategies." Recommendations included helping families promote appropriate use of technology. In a 2017 New York Post article reported suicide rates for teens rose between 2010 and 2015 after they had declined for nearly 2 decades. The CDC suggests one factor could be rising social media use. Data from the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention study confirmed teens' increased use of electronic devices for at least 5 hours daily, more than doubled from 8% in 2009 to 19% in 2015. Nearly half of young people received intimidating or threatening messages online. Teens with high use of devices were 70% more likely to have suicidal thoughts or actions than those who reported 1 hour of daily use. In October 2018, reporter Elizabeth Walker from the Santa Fe New Mexican interviewed children's psychiatrists and school counselors who stated that, quote, "cyberbullying is pervasive and ruins lives." Also, quote, "cyberbullying can be more detrimental than physical bullying because of the damage to self-esteem. It is mental warfare." From their experience, counselors have seen mental health side effects including anxiety and depression in cyberbullying victims. Is the media correct? Is the information being shared in these media articles and in the news the same as what we know academically? There seems to be an agreement on the overall subject of cyberbullying and its impact on youth, with only a few slight discrepancies in some statistics reported. On all key topics of cyberbullying, including increased use of technology by young people, the pervasive nature of cyberbullying, underreporting by young victims, and mental health impact, both the academic journals and media articles seem to agree. The academic journals and media articles support this thesis and show a very clear connection between use of technology by youth and cyberbullying, as well as its impact on serious mental health issues, with higher rates of depression and suicide. However, some of these scholarly research data does not have quite the overwhelming statistics that the media articles report. I argue that overall the media is accurately reporting on youth and cyberbullying, and in fact the media has used information taken directly from research studies and reputable sources in reporting their findings. Could slight discrepancies in statistics occur because academic research is not current as the latest information reported in the media and technology use is constantly evolving? Also, because cyberbullying often goes unreported, the numbers in which research may be lower than actual incidents. The serious consequences of cyberbullying, which have been proven to negatively impact children and teens, is of great concern to all families. All sources, I believe, demonstrate how important it is for parents to be aware of cyberbullying issues, monitor their children's technology use, and help them avoid becoming. On this final slide, you will see a complete list of all work cited for this special project. Sources include both scholarly research journal articles as well as media sources. Thank you for viewing my presentation.